Hello and welcome to the gift of your authentic voice. In this video, we are going to be talking about the voice of the wound. So let's get started. In Module 1, we took an initial look at the wound around expression. It's a block that prevents our higher expression from coming through. And wounds and blocks are often unconscious, they are patterns left over from previous lifetimes, which get reinforced in the current lifetime till we wake up and do something about it. When we bring consciousness to these patterns, it takes courage and compassion and consistent practice to dissolve the block. And if we don't do the work of dissolving the block, and if we continue to express through these blocks, then our capacity to express love is greatly diminished. So, how does this show up in our life? What impact do these patterns have on ourself, on our expression, relationships, and career? We are going to be looking at each of these in Chiron and Saturn and Pluto videos. Now, the wound shows up as obstacles to authentic expression in the form of patterns like self doubt, fear, fear of not being good enough, fear of rejection, fear of being made fun of, comparison, dynamics, and an attitude of what is wrong with me. There's a lot of judgment, self judgment associated with these patterns. So, why even bother with the wound if it is so hard to fix? The wound blocks our true, authentic, loving expression. And remember that the karmic patterns are unresolved patterns. As hard as they may seem, if we can muster the courage to look at our wounds and heal the sensitivity and move forward, it gives our soul a pathway or an opportunity to evolve into something higher. So we want to feel expressed. We want to feel fulfilled and joyful. And we want to be expressing from a strong, loving presence and bringing that into our relationships and into our life. So, can this higher expression come through when it is being clouded by these old unresolved patterns? That's why we need to transmute the wound in order to see our true soul purpose, and we need courage and compassion in this journey. So, to summarize, these patterns form the unconscious limiting stories of our life. We often form behavior patterns to cope with the hurt and pain that these patterns bring up. And if we can start to observe how we express and then gently, lovingly start to shift it, we give our higher expression a pathway to come through. And this then has a positive impact on the rest of our life. So, here I want to give you an idea of how Chiron, Pluto, and Saturn look like on a natal chart, how to identify them on a natal chart. So you can create a chart on the website astro.com, go to free horoscopes, extended chart selection, and enter the date, place, and time of birth for you personally. And look for these three symbols. The first one is Chiron, which looks like a K with a circle or with an ellipse at the bottom of it. And I feel like it represents, it looks like a key. It's literally the key to a higher expression. The one representing Pluto has a circle with a cross below it. Pluto to me symbolizes power. And the one that represents Saturn is a lowercase h with a horizontal line. And Saturn stands for authority. So finding these in your natal chart can give you information about which house and sign the celestial bodies are in. So if you notice here, Chiron is in the 12th house and in the sign of Aries. And Saturn is in the 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. And Pluto is in the ninth house, or actually in the 10th house as well, in the sign of Aquarius. So, this information will be useful to you later in this module where we will talk about what is the meaning of these three archetypes through the different signs and the houses.